Hello and welcome to Dingoes Ate My Podcast. I'm Paul.
And I'm Dave.
And this week we're discussing the episode of Angel, Epiphany. This episode originally aired February 27th, 2001. Okay, let's get into video games because we're going to have a long list.
Yeah, from the last episode onto this one, there was a bit of a space of time. So,
No, this episode and the last episode aired the weeks back to back, but between this episode and the next one, there's like a month and a half gap.
nah.
So I'm going to go through these games a little quicker than normal. Because there's a lot. Anyway, February 27th, this is a Japan release, but I feel like we should still talk about it. It's on the Game Boy Color, and it is The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you were a fan of these games, weren't you?
It's a case of. It's basically diving a bit into my story. These were the first Zelda games that I actually got the chance to play.
Really?
Between the two of them, honestly, I prefer Seasons for its particular game style. Ages is the case of it's far more puzzle focused and a bit esoteric. I'm not too sure of the specific wording, but you need to be a decent problem solver. But it's also the case of it's entire Zelda game split into two, which was technically supposed to be three, but that's starting to dive into the whole history of the thing, and that gets into a whole big mess.
Yeah, Ages was the more puzzle one, and Seasons was the more action one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So, let's quickly get into some other games here. March 5th on the N64, there was a little game that came out called Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Oh,
Yeah. Did you ever...
everyone thought that it was a kid's console. Here's the rated M game.
Yeah.
You were fooled.
March 9th, Sonic Shuffle comes out on the Dreamcast in North America, which is like one of the Sonic like Mario Party knockoffs.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe it was one of the ones that had that fighting game to it.
I don't think this one had... I think this was like a straight up Mario Party knockoff.
Oh.
Looking at the screenshots, it looks like Mario Party.
No, that's true. I vaguely remember seeing things like that. But let's go on.
And Mario Party was huge at the time. Anyway,
Nah.
just want to see. Star Wars. Okay, so Star Wars Episode 1 Battle for Naboo came out in North America on Windows on the 12th and would later be released on the N64 in Europe on the 30th.
Neat.
March 13th, Unreal Tournament came to the Dreamcast. Oh my god. So much good. Have you ever played Unreal Tournament?
Not that I can specifically remember. The title pretty much slaps me right in the face, but it's like, that's it.
Okay. Yeah, it's one of those games where I'd be a little surprised if you had played it, but that's another thing. March 15th, SpongeBob SquarePants Legend of the Lost Spatula on the Game Boy Color.
Understandable.
Daytona USA, March 21st on the Dreamcast.
Ooh, fancy for them.
Oh, I know. Serious Sam, the first encounter on Windows on the 21st.
Yeah, that was a series.
I think it's still a series, actually.
Yeah, but not like it was back in the day.
Serious Sam 4 came out in 2020? What? I didn't know there was a Serious Sam 4. Anyway, March 25th on Windows, we got Black and White. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Black and White.
I am, but mostly the sequel, but do understand the concept.
Okay, very good. What else do we have? Oh, right. The end of March, there are a few little releases here. March 28th on the N64, we got Pokemon Stadium 2.
Neat.
March 30th on the Game Boy Color, we got Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine.
No.
April 6th, we got Snoopy Tennis on the Game Boy Color.
It's after my birthday on that year.
April 8th, Nintendo was like, well, we haven't released a banger in like nearly 2 weeks. Dr. Mario 64.
Understandable. I'm not sure if I would categorize that as a banger. Meh,
I mean, we might have a disagreement about this, but I love that game.
meh, duly noted.
Um, 3 days later, Nintendo was like, we haven't released a game in a while. April 11th on the Game Boy Color, Kirby Tilt and Tumble.
Oh, neat.
April 12th, oh, this was a dark day. Everybody hang your head in shame. April 12th, PlayStation 1. The Simpsons Wrestling.
Oh dear. Like, I vaguely know of it, like from a screenshot and vague bit of gameplay, but was it really that terrible?
Um, Dave, okay. They took two of my favorite things, right? The Simpsons, pro wrestling. They put them together. This should have been the ideal game for me.
And yet they threw the one thing that completely destroyed it and wrecked it into every single piece?
It was terrible. Like, when I say terrible, I don't mean like, oh, it's not very good. I mean like it's freaking unplayable.
Oh, like the case of a high business company being like, make a video game under with our particular property with some other particular thing, and they're like, wrestling, and it's like, okay, sure, go ahead.
So there are a few good things about the game. They got a lot of the original voice cast of The Simpsons to do original lines for it, which is cool. Um, that's about it though. If the game controls terribly, it looks ugly as hell, and it's just bad.
Well, I'm very sorry for your loss.
It's just bad. And April 16th on the Game Boy Color, Batman Chaos in Gotham, which was based on the new Batman adventures, which, yeah. Alrighty, that is a quick rundown of the major, well, not even all of the major games that came out between these two episodes. Anyway, number one movie in America this week.
This
We're end of February, beginning of March of 2001. Any ideas?
nothing immediately jumping out for me.
Okay, so with a gross of $20.1 million, it is a movie called The Mexican.
Supposed Hollywood fodder kind of particular thing. I have no memory of this.
It's a Julia Roberts, Brad Pitt film.
Not surprised with who's casting it, but still, it's just like complete blank.
It also has James Gandolfini, so it gets bonus points for having him.
Meh.
Anyway, I'm sure it's fine for people who like that type of movie. It's just not really my jam. Alrighty, and number one song in America this week.
Song wise. Nah, nothing immediately coming to mind.
It's still Stutter by Joe featuring Mystical.
No,
Yeah. Okay, let's get into the episode.
deeds. Especially from the last one. Jeez.
Okay, so we actually pick up right where the previous episode ended. Angel gets out of bed, puts on some clothes, and struggles to the balcony, falling to his knees in pain as Darla watches on, waiting for him to become Angelus. She thinks his struggle is the bitterness of his soul leaving him. She tells him that she had come there to kill him, but she felt him surrender to her so completely that there was no need. But then Angel tells her that she saved him, and thanks her, and apologizes for not being able to save her. Darla realizes that he still has his soul. Darla can't accept that she failed to rid him of a soul with the implicit realization that sex with her does not mean true happiness for Angel. Instead, surrendering to Darla symbolized Angel's perfect despair, and this has reawakened the good in him and making him realize his recent mistakes. Darla's words to Angel remind him of Kate's desperate phone message, and he quickly orders Darla to leave, saying that the next time they meet, he will kill her. Right. Okay. So Angel rushes to Kate's apartment and runs to the door only to find her unconscious from her drug and alcohol overdose. He manages to revive her, but she is not grateful and orders him to leave. No, he doesn't. All he does is pull her into a shower and turn it on. He doesn't...
Yeah, no, like at the very most, he does the check of some of the vitals and seeing if she's breathing, but then, yeah, just immediately pulls her into the shower. It's just like, does that work? I don't think that would help in this sort of situation.
She's overdosed. She needs CPR. I'm assuming that she's either overdosed on painkillers or barbiturates, like sleeping pills. So she needs CPR and she needs an ambulance. She does not need a cold shower. Anyway. Lindsay returns to his apartment to find Darla, who tells him of her night with Angel. Angel shows up at the bar after hours and wakes Lauren for advice, confused about his future. Lauren warns him that his friends are in danger. Cordelia arrives at the Sharp home, finding all of the family dead. She is attacked by a demon only moments after receiving a vision of it. Cordelia realizes that the demons have an eye on the back of their heads, and they want her and her friends destroyed in retaliation for destroying their spawn in Stephanie Sharp. Wesley hears noises in his apartment, and just before one of the Skillish demons attacks, Angel arrives. The two manage to destroy the demons, and both share a brief moment of camaraderie before the walls go up again. Angel tries to explain his return to helping his friends. Wesley tells everything he knows about the demons, their reproduction through human hosts, and the destruction of the demon in Stephanie. The Skillosh demons, upset about losing two more of their kind, use Cordelia as bait to bring new hosts. Arriving at Angel investigations, Angel and Wesley are dismayed to find Cordelia missing. Angel suggests Cordelia has gone out partying, but Wesley tells Angel harshly that Cordelia is not the same woman she was. The visions have turned her into a solitary person, a far cry from the carefree girl she used to be, and that while Angel was more than happy to turn his back on the visions, this is not a luxury that Cordelia has. Angel is left feeling ashamed, and this deepens his resolve to save her, something Wesley does agree with. As the two regroup with Gunn and set off for the Sharp residence, Angel volunteers to take care of some of the Skillosh demons waiting for them, telling the others that Cordelia is the only thing that matters. As Angel is about to start fighting with the demons, they suddenly flee. Angel is confused until Lindsay drives a truck full speed down the street, repeatedly running Angel down. Lindsay beats Angel with a sledgehammer, demanding to know what happened with Darla. Angel turns the tables on Lindsay and starts to beat him, while all the while apologizing that Darla will never love him and that he did not try harder to save Lindsay when he came to him for help. In the end, he smashes Lindsay's prosthetic hand with a sledgehammer and steals Lindsay's truck, telling the lawyer that he could have smashed the other hand if it was not for the Epiphany. Gunn and Wesley try to sneak into the Sharp home, but are caught. Angel crashes Wesley's truck through the Sharp house, rescuing his friends, but he's hurt emotionally when they are not willing to accept him back into the fold. After finding his damaged truck returned by Angel, Lindsay discovers that Darla has moved out of his apartment and left L.A. Angel talks with Kate about his new look on life, how he has realized that he should help people for the sake of helping them instead of for his own redemption, and that there is no bigger meaning than the small act of kindness, the small acts of kindness are the greatest things in the world. Kate says a higher power must be watching over them, but because she has never invited him into her home, but he was able to save her nonetheless. Angel appears at the Angel Investigations office and apologizes to his friends. Although he knows they are not ready to return to work for him, Angel responds that he wants to work for them instead, and accepts that he will have to work hard to regain their trust. A vision from Cordelia puts their doubts on the back burner, and the reunited team head out to help the helpless. Alrighty. So, what did you think of this episode, Dave?
Nice, fairly nice sort of roller coaster, just with Angel having to deal with all the particular stuff that he kind of gone through, and more so just the additional development of they built up the story of a person coming in being like, "Yeah, my daughter has a third eye. Could you guys fix this?" And then the whole process of they get the work done, don't get paid for it, but then demons are like, "Oh, we're not happy about this," and it developing into its own additional sort of thing is definitely really neat to see. Nice story development onto things.
Yeah, there's a bunch of story development in this, and I don't know if you noticed it, but this episode and the previous one kind of mirror two episodes of Buffy.
That's true, though it has been a while, and I can't immediately remember which one you speak of.
So, the previous episode that we just watched, Reprise, mirrors pretty closely to the episode of Buffy called Surprise. It's almost like that was intentional. And Epiphany here doesn't really mirror as closely to Innocence as Surprise and Reprise do, but it is kind of a fun little thing that they've kind of done.
Okay, yeah. Sort of sticking with the typical styles that they did with one series and continuing on with others.
Yeah, there's a lot of similarities between the two, and it's a fun little kind of thing. Alrighty.
And I think I'm not sure how often they specifically did it within any other Buffy episodes or too many other particular ones that I can think of. Just the addition of with Wesley in a wheelchair and with him trying to deal with specific situations. It was definitely interesting. Just him having to do resorts of getting the gun out of the closet and be like, "Shoot, I need shells," and just working with his condition to defend himself.
Yeah, I quite like that. I wish they would do more of, especially because Wesley is, well, I mean, Wesley's just a guy. Like, he doesn't have any kind of power or anything. I wish they would do more kind of stuff like that with him, but
I'm thinking though, just as it kind of is with this particular series, they're probably going to throw a little bit more of that onto Gunn since he's one of the newer faces, and they just with the style of it, they probably have a bit more fun with him in comparison to Wesley.
yeah, and they're definitely going to take Wesley in a certain direction, which we'll find out with eventually. Okay, so quickly for this episode, we have some international titles. So in German, it just translates as Epiphany. In French, however, it has kind of a interesting translation, which is Return to Order. Which, I mean, it kind of is, because the end of this episode kind of brings us back to the status quo, although it's a little bit different.
That's true.
Because it kind of brings them back to being a team, except Angel's now the one that's not in charge.
He's an employee now and not the boss.
Exactly. Okay. Now, if there's nothing else to bring up about this episode, next week we'll be discussing a little episode called... I wonder if you'll get this. It's called Disharmony.
Oh, no.
Yep. Okay. Okay. I'm going to read you the synopsis for this, and I'm sure it's going to make you very, very happy. Angel and his reunited crew try to foil the plans of a vampire cult leader, but Cordelia becomes distracted when her old high school friend turned vampire, Harmony, comes to town after her breakup with Spike and wants to help in the fight.
On one case is, that's mildly intriguing. On the other hand, they only did so much with Harmony within the Buffy series that we didn't really see that much development from her being a high school girl and becoming a vampire sort of thing. So, yay, she's supposedly on the side, but I question how long it's gonna last.
Yeah. Oh, also, we're gonna get an appearance from the best character in Buffy. Any idea who that might be?
I believe I know who you're talking about. I just can't pin on the name. The one that's coming to mind is Warren, but I'm not too sure.
Nope, not even close. It's Willow.
Oh, neat.
Yes, Willow is gonna show up, and that is always a good time. Well, maybe.
Well, until it got into that one season of it, but it's a whole bag of worms in itself.
You mean when she flayed a guy?
Yeah, and then just went on the whole could a particular tirade on things.
Oh, and it was going to
Kind of
destroy the
started to head
planet?
down,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, started to head down that track.
Yeah. Don't worry, that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, no, not yet.
It's it's going to be a good time because Harmony is going to be an episode.
Oh boy.
And Harmony's good. So until next time, I'm Paul.
And I'm Dave.